Hi guys, and welcome back to another video game with the powers. I'm Jake, and in today's video we got something a little different for you than our normal unboxings, how to plays, and first impressions. I'm currently right now in the process of play testing a new game. As always, we are very fortunate sometimes to have companies send us a prototype version of a game for us to test out and get content out to help support these games. And so we have a prototype game that we are in the process of play testing, and so be on the lookout over the next coming weeks on our channel as we slowly start releasing some of this content for a new game that is coming to GameFound sometime soon. So while my table is completely full, I do not have the room to get a game out and show you guys, talk about first impressions and whatnot. So I'm trying to get creative with content, and in that I wanted to go back to doing something that we've did a long time ago on our channel, and that is talking about the games that we have backed in a given month. And so I think it's just a good way to get some diversity of content out for all of you guys within our community. And so what I want to start doing is every month on the channel, one time, talk about all the games that we backed in the previous month, so you guys can get an idea of what projects we are supporting, again, what more games we are interested in, and of course I will give you guys my thoughts and opinions on why I picked this particular game or what ultimately made me decide to back it, so that way you guys have an idea of stuff that is coming to our channel months and years down the road. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So actually in the month of October, guys, I did not back a whole lot of projects, only one project. So we're gonna go back to September and kind of combine September and October together. So let's jump right in and talk about these projects coming to our channel in the near future. So in the month of September, I backed 4 games. The very first one I want to talk about here is Pest Guilds of Thokaia. All right, so Pest Guilds of Thokaia is an expansion to the board game Pest. They also have the second edition of this game, and the ultimate premise of Pest is this is a Euro style game where you are taking on the role of a plague doctor here, and your city or the land here has befallen to a plague. All right, and so you are trying to go around, collect these sick people, and kind of build buildings and just restore the infrastructure of the land that the plague has destroyed. Now, I enjoyed the first edition of the game. However, there were a couple issues that I had with it. Some of the most glaring issues was the amount of table presence that this game had. And boy, this was a table hog. You know, you had the game board, which was massive, and then you had all of these other different boards. I mean, on our game theory origins table, guys, I mean, it goes from length to length pretty much, from side to side. We played a 3-player game and we were having to play in the corners like this with all of our particular components, like one in each corner, because everything was taken up. So it was a massive table hog. The second issue was some of the components themselves. The red color actually came out to be a burgundy color, so it was not red at all. And if you got the Capital City miniature pack, those miniatures were supposed to enclose together. They never did, okay? They were kind of disjointed or twisted a little bit to where they would never hold in place. So this particular campaign here, they focused on that expansion, and they focused on an update pack and basically some quality of life things to make the game a better experience. And so that's what kind of led me to back the game here. Now, I did not back the expansion. Look, like I said, I enjoyed Pest, but we don't get this to the table regularly, so I felt like it really wasn't worth me diving into another expansion of the game. But I will scroll down and talk about some of the fixes that they made to the first edition game. And you can see right here, they have this fix pack, which is gonna make the red players, meeples and buildings and stuff, an actual red color instead of burgundy. And then they have this fix to the Capital City miniature base as well. And then as you continue to scroll down, we had this upgrade pack here, which basically redid the entire board, right? Some of the roads here on the original board were very hard to see. The first board was really, really dark. They condensed a lot of these boards down to only have about 1 or 2 new boards. They've condensed a lot of the cards and basically just streamlined the game as a whole, because I did feel like sometimes there was a lot of things that would just slow the game down that weren't really essential. So for me here, I basically just picked up the upgrade pack and the fix pack, but I also deluxeified my game a little bit and picked up the deluxe buildings pack, okay? This deluxe building pack is plastic player buildings for all of each individual player, along with a plastic containment camp. Just again, adding a little bit more table presence and deluxifying this game. So that's what I did here with this particular project. Again, I felt like the expansion, because I wasn't going to get this game to the table a whole lot, I felt like the expansion wasn't worth it, and I really wouldn't get the expansion to the table with the base game. I would just prefer playing the base game over that one. But that is the very first project I backed in the month of September. Moving on to our next one, we have Northwest. All right, Northwest is a cube placement game, a tableau engine building game for 2 to 4 players, where you are going to have all these different dice with symbols on them. You're going to roll all of them. You're going to put them on this central board that you guys see here. You're going to have this little hiker guy. You're going to be moving this hiker. You're going to be drafting dice and placing them in your little tableau. And each face of the die is going to have a different symbol, and these different symbols are going to each have different scoring conditions. And so you are building out a, what is this, 4x4 grid? Yep, you're building out a 4x4 grid, and like I said, with different symbols, with different scoring conditions, and at the end, you're going to score everything that you've built out, and the person with the most victory points is going to be the winner. So this one really interested me. Of course, Sierra does like nature-themed games. She also likes games that are very simple and quick. And so this to me looks like one of those particular games, right? It's very simple. You move this hiker, you're drafting a die, you put that die on your thing, based upon that die's face is gonna have scoring conditions. So in future rounds, you're gonna wanna meet those different scoring conditions. And also, for me, was just a price point here. This is a deluxeified game, right? It says for the first print, we decided that the game should already be deluxe. For a $30 price point to have already a deluxeified game in this day and age, with a lot of board games where most deluxeified components are making you go $45 for games about this size, right? $45. Your bigger games, deluxe components are going to be $75 to $90. I felt like this was a great price here. So those are some of the factors that I considered when I backed this, and why I ultimately backed Northwest. But I'm super excited about this one. Again, simple, clean looking game, and just unique with all the boards and the dice and things like that. But that's the second project I backed in the month of September. All right, moving on to the third project, we have Spooktacular, a nail-biting game of 20 asymmetric movie monsters that play entirely different games. All right, this is coming to you from Level 99 Games, and that's probably one of the main reasons why I back this. They do make a game that I do enjoy, Millennium Blades, which I backed that Kickstarter as well. But Spooktacular, what really drew me to this? Well, I think it was that retro, that 80s, 90s retro feel of these horror monsters going around this board. You're trying to scare people. And I think also the asymmetry of the game. So there is a game that I'm currently looking at right now to back that has a lot of asymmetry. And I really enjoy games where it's like, it's a competitive style game, but you're not necessarily battling with each other, because your character has their own goals and objective that you're trying to meet. So it's like, yes, we are playing competitively, but I don't have to worry about trying to battle you or necessarily screw you over, like a take that kind of feel, right? I have a certain objective. I need to try and meet that objective, and it's kind of like a race of who can meet their objective first. And so, you know, just the company itself, Level 99, that's publishing, the retro style feel of this, all the asymmetry, the different amount of figures you're getting. Again, the price point here is something that interested me as well. For $55, you're getting 39 different meeple figures that are screen printed, 20 different player boards, and it just looks like a lot of content. You know, 20 different monsters is a lot of monsters and a lot of content you seem to be getting here for $55. And plus, the game looks very cool. You're just going around trying to scare people, and it looks cool. It brings that retro 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s feel to me. So that was the primary reason why I ended up backing this, and I did back this direct to VHS tier here for $55. So I'm very excited to see Spooktacular when this comes and kind of get this one to the table. But that is the third game I backed here in the month of September. Spooktacular, a tabletop game of B horror movie thrills. All right, moving on to the last game of September, we have Everdell Duo, okay? And pretty much this one is very simple. Me and Sierra have always wanted to play Everdell for a while, but with all the other games that have come in, we've never quite gotten around to actually getting Everdell itself or playing Everdell in general at any of the times we've had a game night with some of our other friends. Plus, I think with all the Everdell content out right now, it does look to be a little bit overwhelming, and from what I've seen, the Everdell game itself does kind of have a little bit table presence. So with a lot of the other games we have that are much bigger production games, we felt like, or really I felt like, that it wasn't worth getting the actual board game of Everdell. So when I saw Everdell Duo, I was like, perfect. We've always wanted to play Everdell. This is a smaller version of the game. Not only is it competitive, but it is cooperative as well. It does have a 15 chapter campaign that you can play, and for only 19 bucks sold, I am all in on this one. So I'm gonna be honest, I did not look at the gameplay at all. I didn't look at the mechanics. The gameplay and the mechanics can be terrible. I do not know. It was simply for me, oh, this is a game we've always wanted to try, but because of the grand nature of the game and all things like that, we really never wanted to step our toes in that water. Now we got a Duo version of the game, smaller box. We can get this to the table, plays in 30 minutes. I am all for it. So that is Everdell Duo, the last game that I backed here in the month of September. All right, guys, moving on to the lone game in October. Now, normally I would back more games in the month of October, but there was a bunch of games that we had backed in previous months that I have some stretch goal payments working on because they were some big, grandiose productions. And those games were Odalin, Dungeons of Doom. I did go the all-in on that one, so that was pretty hefty. And I did go all-in on the DC Heroes United. So those two games alone, those stretch payments were pretty high. So that kind of factored into the month of October. So there's a lot of projects that I maybe wanted to look at, but I wasn't completely sold on it based upon everything else that we had going on. So the only project that looked really interested to me is Railroad Tiles here. And so this is a game of tile placement and transportation network construction inspired by the critically acclaimed Roll and Write series Railroad Inc. And so Railroad Inc. is one of those games, kind of like Everdell, that we've always wanted to try. You know, we do enjoy Roll and Writes, but we never got around to it because we have a lot of other Roll and Writes that we do enjoy. You know, we have Rolling Realms itself, we have Dungeons, Dice, and Danger, we have Lantern Dice, and things like that. So probably our favorite flip and write game is Welcome to, right? We have all the expansions to that, and so we play that one regularly. So we never just got around to getting Railroad Inc. So I saw Railroad Tiles. It's based off Railroad Inc., a game that we wanted to try and get to the table, and it is a tile placement game, and Sierra loves tile placement games. Carcassonne is one of her favorite games. You know, The Gardens, that's another tile placement game that she really does enjoy. And so I saw this. The price point looked really good. I think it was only 40 euros for the price point, 30 minutes per for player, you get all these nice little trains and meeples and cars and stuff like that with the Kickstarter perks. It just looked really good to me, right? It looked like with all these different stretch goals of all these trains and pawns and mechanics and high-speed trains, and it has that exact Carcassonne feel for me, but like a modernized Carcassonne now. And so I really do think this is a game Sierra is going to enjoy, because when you look at this how to play and you see it, I mean, this is essentially a modernized version of Carcassonne. So I think she's really gonna enjoy this one. I'm really gonna enjoy this because I like more of the modern aspect of it with the trains and the cars and the people rather than the old school kingdom building type of thing that they got going on. So I'm curious to see how this one is going to play and if Sierra is going to like it and how this would stack up for her against Carcassonne. So like I said, they have this basic tier, approximately $44 US. That's the tier that I went. They do actually have some really cool expansions that I was maybe thinking about just picking up one, right? They have this lake expansion, this forest expansion, the canals expansion, the countryside expansion, energy expansion, monuments expansion, desert expansion. So, you know, I think for me, Sierra does like the water. So either the canals or the lake expansion is definitely one that I think I might grab as well, just to add in some more extra flavor. But this is the only game I backed in the month of October, Railroad Tiles, and I'm actually really excited by this one, and I'm more excited to see what Sierra thinks. But all right, guys, well, look, that is all the games we got coming in the month of September. Well, not coming. Those are all the games that I backed in the months of September and October that will be coming to our channel in the near future. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash that like button, hit that notification bell, comment down below, did you guys back any of these games, or was there a game that I might have missed in the month of September or October that you were like, guys, you definitely need to look at this one and back this game? Drop those games down in the comments below and we will definitely take a look at those. As always, guys, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe so we can keep bringing you some more awesome content. All right, guys, y'all have a great one.